$400 million you didn't know you had before. So why is the MTA singing a different tune?
We find ourselves in a situation as we approach what we showed in the financial plan today as a 4% increase in 17 and a 4% increase in 19.
In plain English, that's 2019, and those are increases in MetroCard fares that the MTA chairman was talking about. And he did it on this same day that his board showed the Transportation Authority is comfortably in the black. The fare increase talk is actually not as bad as it sounds. More on that in a moment. But first, how did the country's largest mass transportation system find it has more money than it thought? Its own report shows that revenues from real estate it owns and lower than expected payouts for pensions for its retirees are among the reasons it has extra money. So many of us who ride its trains and buses every day may now say, what's in it for me?
People take the subways and they see like thousands and thousands of people stream in and swipe their cards, so where's all that money going?
The foremost advocate for riders says what many of us feel. How about a lower fare on buses and trains? But the whole situation is more complicated than that. For one, the MTA is not exactly rolling in dough. That $400 million surplus is in the MTA's operating budget, which is essentially money for its day-to-day operations. It also has a capital plan, the money the century-old system needs to get and stay up to date and attract more riders. Look at that. It's got a $13 billion funding gap, which is why the MTA's chairman isn't doing a happy dance. Instead, he's talking about things like this.
If we can lower the amount of the fare increase, we will do so, versus what a lot of us has lived most of our entire career in, which is no kind of known point at which we may need to readjust the size of the fare to meet the needs, and then you have these big fare increases.
He's saying that projected fare increases may not be as high as originally planned. That could save you money. His agency also has to buy more cars, do maintenance, and pay interest on money that it's borrowed to do some of that and more. So what will happen to the hundreds of millions in surplus?
There are choices. The fare, service, paying for their capital improvements. I think the good news is that there's money to argue over.
And that is the thing.
Yeah,
there
right?
is a surplus. And in fact, he points out that in the decades he's been advocating for public transportation riders, he's only seen 7 surpluses before.
That's a very nice word. I'm not even familiar with it. We haven't said that word in a long time when it comes to the MTA. Who gets to decide what to do with this money now?
Whoa, what a very good question. And that's why a lot of people are loath to use the word surplus because, yeah, it's extra money. But, yeah, look, there have been numerous times, as Rushinoff points out, when the governor is able to step in and say, oh, you have extra money? We're going to take that and use it for something else other than transportation.
So this may be just a fun little time where we're seeing the surplus, and it might not be there very long.
Well said.